Good evening. I'm the Maven of the Eventide, and welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York Vampire Playthroughs Let's Play Experience.
New game, load, settings, credits, exit.
With me tonight is the fabulous, the wonderful...
I'm none of those things. Paul, hi.
And we are picking up where we left off after we just got into an altercation in the park, didn't we?
I do remember that. I remember a fountain and somebody getting beat up on our behalf.
We fed in Anarch's supposed territory, and he wasn't happy about it, so we stuffed him in our trunk and drove away.
Well, the butler guy stuffed him in the trunk. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, so
we did precious little.
My best friend, Sophie, saved me. She's great. She looks out for me. I don't trust her. I know she's going to betray me or something at some point because she's an evil vampire and that's what
Now,
they do.
Sophie's the redhead who was, up until this point, Fran Drescher, right?
No, that was 2 points ago. This point, she's okay.
Okay. But that's the red-haired lady, right? The one whose service we are within.
Yeah.
Okay. And then she's got this other butler guy who's not
Gregory.
the Turkish guy. He's the sheriff.
Yeah, the Turkish guy is the sheriff.
Okay.
And Gregory is the butler.
Got it.
You open your eyes. Do I? They still look closed.
Turn around.
It's pitch dark here. The blackness of a coffin drifting in the abyss.
God, edgelord even in unconsciousness.
Oh, right. The light. You grasp for the switch and flip it. The familiar cramped room with the steel door and no windows comes into view. This is a cramped room? This is like super spacious by New York City standards. Also, I really like that wallpaper.
Have Damask.
I love Damask. You emerge from the bedroom fully awake, just like yesterday.
I'm really resisting a phantom thing where I'm like, this, I am Damascuare.
You didn't resist it, though.
No, I didn't. I just said it, which made it feel better. Please continue. My apologies.
This time, however, Sophie is waiting for you, comfortably seated on the sofa in your living room space. A book in her hand, The Melancholy of Resistance. The title sure on brand.
God. I can't tell if the
Is that a real book?
No, I can't imagine. Well, maybe it could be.
You should Google it.
No, I don't want to.
Good evening, Gwen. How did you get inside?
This is her apartment.
Good evening, Sophie. Sorry, I don't know why I said it that way. Excuse me. Good evening, Sophie.
There.
I hope you rested well. Tonight will be quite eventful, I think. Come, we have an appointment. I received word Elysium would be called again tonight on account of your unruly friend from Corona Park. This should be a great opportunity for you to mingle. She keeps talking as you walk downstairs and get in the car. Gregory gives you a slight nod and a small smile while opening the door for Sophie. Oh, we're like bros now.
Aw.
Yeah. He starts the car when you take your seat in the back. Most of the Primogen Council is bound to be there, at least those who usually attend. What is the Primogen Council?
Primogen Council. Noun.
The Primogen Council represents the interests of the local kindred and advises the prince on matters of law and rule. Traditionally, it consists of representatives from each of the most prominent clans or factions in the domain, naturally favoring those of the Camarilla.
Natch.
Though outsiders are allowed to report any issues to the Primogen not of their own clan. The Primogen are often elders, but despite the term, Primogen from the Latin means the firstborn, there are no rules in place that this is how it must be. In fact, during the last few decades, more and more councils have seen drastic changes to their structure. Probably some other important personalities you'd do well to at least learn about. Anyone I should talk to when we arrive? Not especially. My advice would be to try to talk to the prince and perhaps reassure her of your gratefulness for being spared. Maybe speak to Kadir on the same topic if you get a hold of him. The Primogen I would advise against. They are rather stuck up, all told, and even if they will talk to you, they might try to secure you for some nefarious purpose. I wouldn't appreciate that.
You guys are vampires. All of your purposes are nefarious.
No, but I'm only supposed to serve her nefarious purpose, not the Primogens.
Is purpose is that actually the plural of purpose?
Probably not.
All right.
Only if purpose is a Latin word.
I respect that you got to pass me if it's untrue. Purpose.
Of course, be respectful if anybody approaches you and strikes up a conversation. You will no doubt be gossiped about, as will I. Keep a cool head. Some enjoy provoking fledglings into stupid acts. Stupid acts? Not I, never.
No. Straight as an arrow we are. Pure as the driven snow.
At any rate, you should behave yourself tonight. Remember what I told you about reflecting on me as your patron? I have a reputation to uphold in the court. Do not tarnish it.
Are these the same conversations you have with your patrons on Patreon?
I have a reputation to uphold.
You all reflect upon me. Don't blow it.
No, it would be the other way around. I reflect upon them. And if I blew it, they'd stop being my patrons.
Would they though? Because I figured if you blew it and created more drama, that would actually get them to spew all like,
I guess depends why they're there.
I want to see how bad this train wreck gets.
There it is. She might have saved you, she might be protecting and teaching you, but it's clear what she's really concerned about, her own interests. Well, yeah, she's not like a nun. You step into the art hole with something of a bad memory. The last time you were here, your entire world had been turned upside down and your existence nearly ended.
What it would be like if you're like a fledgling artist and it's like, hey, guess what? Hey, we got your painting to be displayed in an art gallery. It's like, hey, where's it going to be? It's like the art hole. It's like, I thought you were a good agent. What are you? Art hole.
Art hole. But tonight, there is very little outward hostility. Yes, Kadir gives you a look that's definitely intended to remind you of your place, but the prince, also in attendance, seems pleased to see you. Oh, she's the one who's French, right? So I get to do
Prince
French.
Penal.
Welcome, Sophie, Gwen. Did I get that right? Good evening to both of you. I understand there is somebody else you wish to present to the court tonight. Yes, Prince. They will be joining us shortly. My assistant is retrieving them presently.
All right.
Remember, he's like Brooklyn.
He's
Not
Brooklyn,
Bronx.
but he's Turk. Oh, no, not Bronx. Bronx is all I know. This better be worth the prince's time, Langley.
The prince gives Kadir a cold glance. Ooh, hostility between them.
Great. The only line I get, and I get in trouble for it.
Forgive the sheriff's harshness. He is in a particularly foul mood tonight. Something to do with Gwen's begetter eluding his grasp, I believe. Ouch, that must have hurt his ego, even if his only reply is a crooked smile. The mention of your sire makes you grit your teeth in anger. Asshole! Settling you with a curse that cut you off from your career, cheated you out of your ambitions, offering little in return so far. Remind yourself that defeatism will get you nowhere. Mindfulness, the here and now, this is an opportunity. You will make the most of it, if only to spite everyone who doubts your true worth. That's very true.
This is very thought leader concept-y, yeah.
I mean, she's like corporate shark lady, so, you know. The flaring up of whispers in the gallery hall breaks you out of your thoughts. Gregory enters the room, the jumpsuit-clad, inert vampire still staked on his shoulder. The show's about to start. Sophie's driver places his charge in the middle of the room and nods respectfully to Kadir. The sheriff approaches the vampire and removes the stake from his chest. The captive's eyes flicker to life, and he starts looking around in disbelief. Like a cornered animal, he backs out on all fours, keeps going in circles until he realizes he's trapped.
Does he hiss?
Do you think he's on all fours, hands and knees, or do you think he's like crab walking backwards?
One is a lot more ridiculous than the other, so I'm opting to believe the first one.
But still, going backwards on hands and knees is kind of...
Or maybe he's like doing it backwards and he's crab walking?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Like in
Crab
elementary
walking.
school? Yeah.
Yeah, that's... What kind of fours are we talking about here?
Well, like if it's gonna be like a corner animal, I imagine he's down on like.
Until he starts crab walking in circles.
Look, where's the big medicine ball, gym teacher? Can't wait till we do the parachute.
Kadir steps on the man's chest and pins him to the floor. Oh, well, he must have been crab walking because he stepped on his chest.
Okay, all right. Why, who do we have here? Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. No, don't. Come on, don't. Silence.
The sheriff takes on an aura of utter dread. He appears as if he's a primal force of nature that's out to get you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do but shrivel in terror.
Weird choice of words.
So like when your penis shrinks when you're cold?
He's a real breath of cold air, that one.
The beast inside you shrieks, and you could swear it happens in unison with the instincts of some of the other guests here tonight. It's unlike anything you've experienced in his company during your turbulent first night as a vampire. He really did go easy on you, all things considered. It seems like it takes all of the hoodlum's willpower to not crawl into a fetal position and start crying.
No, please don't hurt me, man, don't. You and me are going to have a little talk downstairs at the prince's discretion.
Please, go ahead, my sheriff.
You're the prince. Get up. Let's go.
He doesn't wait for confirmation. He just grabs the man and drags him, kicking and screaming, out of the room. Conversations start all around you, some whispered, some quite overt. Sophie looks somewhat bored of the whole affair, her eyes wandering from art piece to art piece, clearly finding nothing to her particular liking.
Well, seeing these are the same art they see, Elysium in, Elysium out.
So, what happens now? It'll be at least some minutes before Kadir gets the information he seeks out of this thug. Why not mingle while we wait for him to break? Excuse me. Sophie leaves your side and goes to a corner of the gallery where a group of kindred, some seemingly pretty old-fashioned, gathered. A concierge offers you a drink. Still warm. It smells nice. Just a sip to start you off, a splash over your palate, coating your tongue and the inside of your cheeks. Nourishment. You're left to your own devices. You have a quick look around. The prince is currently talking to a dark-skinned woman that you recall seeing here those few nights ago. She has a cold but noble countenance to her. Their conversation seems to be casual. A loud, shrill laugh turns your attention to the bespectacled man who you saw with Sophie on the night of your judgment. He's making the rounds, chatting up different patrons. You feel somebody's eyes on you. A casually dressed, plain-looking man stands alone near a column, watching you. He turns his gaze away sheepishly when he realizes you've noticed.
Is he wearing a fedora?
I'm feeling the prince.
Oh, wow, some actual agency in our choices.
Yeah.
Wow, we're not just being led around by the neck. Okay.
Let's see. I'm feeling the prince.
She might not like that.
No, Sophie told me to try to talk to the prince, remember?
Oh,
I asked
okay.
her who
No,
I
I'm
should
just
talk
saying,
to.
it's like you were going to feel the prince. And
Oh, well,
it's
she
fine.
might like it. I have good hands.
It was funny to me.
You-
I am Damascus. Sorry, go ahead.
You approach the prince, trying to stay as respectful of her private conversation as possible. She glances at you as you step forward, her scrutinizing gaze mimicked by her companion. She addresses the dark-skinned woman before turning to you. Excuse me for just a moment, Samira. Yes, Gwen, what is it?
She's very patient for a prince being interrupted mid-conversation. I thought
No,
she would
I
be
hovered
really...
until she was ready, and then she addressed me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I handled it properly. I wish to thank you for sparing me, Prince. I realize it wasn't an easy decision to make, and I wanted to express my sincere appreciation. How thoughtful of you. She takes a long look at you before she continues. I didn't do it from the kindness of my upbeating heart. You are an asset to Miss Langley, to the Camarilla, and to me. I believe I made the right decision. Prove to me and the other kindred of the city that it was so, and there might be more for your future nights than just survival and servitude. The dark-skinned woman looks impatiently at you and catches the prince's attention. Forgive me. That is all the time I can spare right now. We have some things to discuss with Samira still. Enjoy your night, Gwen. Oh, does she speak in the plural like the royal we?
I guess so. And I really wish I had the power to end conversations as graciously
But
as she
she says forgive me. She should just say forgive us.
No. That was genuine because I'll be stuck in conversations. It's like, sure, okay. It's like, well, I would love to give you more attention, but I'd rather be anywhere else right now. Bye.
I'm just saying sometimes she speaks in plural and sometimes she doesn't.
Maybe she's still kind of getting used to the role plurality.
Freshly new prince.
I don't bow to her. That's weird.
Yeah. I haven't seen anyone else bowing, have I? I don't think that I know.
No, that seems overly formal. She probably won't like that.
And the same to you, Prince Panad. The prince nods and turns back to the other woman to continue their conversation. You notice Sophie mingling with other kindred, clearly in her element, and not to be disturbed. Kadir hasn't come back yet, so you can probably still find time for at least one conversation. I want to find out why this guy's looking at me, because the glasses guy has an obnoxious laugh, and that's like an instant turn off.
Oh.
No. This guy seemed bashful, so I think he's safe. He's not going to,
Milady.
be mean to me. There's something about this guy. It's not that he's staring at you. Most everybody in this room has at one point or another. It's how he does it. He seems shy, maybe even afraid. It's hard to find a secluded spot in the gallery tonight, but this guy has an entire corner of the room all to himself. As you approach, he's standing alone with no glass in hand, a worried look on his face. I'm gonna be saucy.
Ooh.
So, care to tell me what's so interesting about me that you've been looking at me since I came in?
Sorry, I didn't mean to pry. Just seeing how you're doing. You're still in one piece. That's good. I'm glad.
Robert Larson.
Great, a vampire named Bob.
Are we supposed to know who that is?
Bob the vampire. No, I think this is someone we must have met, but we don't remember yet. The name's Larson, or you can call me Robert. Either's fine.
Why are you standing around by yourself like this?
I'm the Lord of the Edge. I'm not hugely liked around these parts. I'm surprised you wanted to talk to me. Then again, you're new, so you probably didn't know.
Just like me, I find the fellow outcast in the room. That's what I do. I'm like,
see, I kind of
who's the
identify with this
nerds?
guy, except he didn't have a drink in his hand, so therefore, illusion ruined.
Well, the drink would be blood anyway, you know.
That's true. It's just something good to fidget with, you know? I'm one of Prince Penard's primogen. I'm here on business in case the prince requires my insight. Usually, it's so she can hear me out before ignoring me.
So he's a primogen, he's a head honcho, and yet he's still like a total loser?
How can he be a loser with a turtleneck like that?
Well, we know he's not a Ventru, that's for sure.
No.
He's not a Nosferatu, so I wonder what he is.
Not sure if you were paying attention the other night, but when the prince mentioned diverging opinions on whether you should be executed or not, that was me. I was the diverging opinion.
The only one? I thought there were like multiple diverging opinions. Everyone wanted to kill me except for this guy.
So it's not unanimous that fails? It's a weird system.
Maybe he was just very persuasive. Not that I'm ungrateful, but out of curiosity, what was your reasoning?
My reasoning? It's common sense. I mean, you shouldn't be blamed for being assaulted and essentially murdered to boot, but as Kadir loves to say, the traditions are clear.
I like your Kadir impression, Robert Larson. You got him down pat. Oh, that was so Kadir.
And I glance around, make sure Kadir's not around. Listen, I don't want to be rude, and I appreciate you reaching out, but word of advice? Stay away from me.
Oh, is this going to be a forbidden romance?
No, I think he just outranks you. It's like, I don't want to be seen with you.
No. He said people avoid him, and I didn't get the memo, so he must be like social
At least he's
cancer
genteel about it. Many vampires in this sect regard my position as a primogen to be some kind of joke, you know. They'll talk to me, they'll notice, and they'll, hold it against you.
So generous and kind. You really need, some self-esteem classes, dude. You have a quick look behind you and see that a few of the kindred keep shooting you curious glances. One woman in particular, a redhead boasting a fanciful hairstyle, watches you disapprovingly. Fanciful hairstyle makes me think she has, Game of Thrones hair or something.
No, I was thinking of one of those big, giant beehive things from, the Edwardian powdered wig style type of things. Some of them already do, I imagine. Excuse me. I need to try to get a word in with a few Primogen members before Kadir returns. Enjoy your night.
With just the critical looks of a few kindred to keep you company, you start thinking about who to pursue next. A loud exchange near the staircase grabs everyone's attention. Kadir is back, and the hoodlum is with him. The sheriff pushes his unfortunate victim inside the room. The vampire that threatened you last night is a mess. That stupid hat is still inexplicably on his head, covering some of his ruined face in welcome shadow. He's barely conscious. His shin is broken, you think, something protruding there, making the pant leg bulge. One arm seems twisted at a strange angle. Very little blood, surprisingly, but clearly a whole lot of hurt. Is that because when he started, when he was cut, he healed?
Well, I figure they don't have a lot
bleeding.
of blood coursing through their system.
Well, Kadir, did our guest cooperate?
Tell the prince your name. It's Howard. And who do you run with, Howard? The Midnighters. An anarch coterie, my prince. Active for some time now, though from what this one told me, the name is about the only legacy this group has kept over the years.
Coterie!
Coterie, noun.
A small group of kindred united by the need for support and sometimes common interests.
Actually, coterie could be a verb. It's let's go coterie. No.
Coterieing.
Coterying.
We're just gonna coterie up in that joint.
Sorry, the gin's hit me hard right now.
I see.
Hey, Prince, I didn't mean it. I didn't know.
A loud crack makes some of the guests audibly gasp as Kadir's slap dislocates the man's jaw. A spray of blood creates something like an abstract art piece on the floor.
This one is guilty of threatening a member of the Camarilla and claiming a domain without the prince's approval. That alone would be enough to pass swift judgment. But he is also anarch scum. My prince?
There can be only one verdict. Final death. Do your duty, Sheriff. Unless, of course, somebody would like to play at being a good Samaritan like our dear Miss Langley a few nights ago.
Ooh, called out to Bob.
The look the prince serves you and Sophie is a cruel jest. Sophie takes it gracefully, smiling and slipping her arm under yours in a strange public show of affection. And I'm like, hee hee hee. Nobody says anything. The vampire named Howard jumps to his feet and makes for the window. Oh, can I stop him? Ooh,
Wait,
I want to dominate.
Wait, he's a primogen. No. Wait. Oh, Howard. Okay, I thought
Not
it was
Bob.
Bob.
No.
Yeah,
Howard.
Bob and Howie. Such vampire names. Yeah, try and dominate the guy.
Yeah, someone in the comments, remember how last time I didn't want to try to dominate him because I didn't think I could? Someone in the comments told me, no, that's your power. You can do this, so.
Yeah, do it. I mean, it's
try.
a vampire to a vampire, so, yeah.
The moment you catch Howard's eye, ordering him comes to you almost instinctively. Stop. Wait, I gotta use my mom voice. Stop!
Stop.
He stops and looks at you with one eye, the other swollen closed by Kadir's interrogation. A swift slash separates his head from his shoulders. The body slumps to the ground and starts decomposing in front of your eyes. The sheriff, sword in hands, gives you a nasty smile from behind where Howard used to stand. Well, Gwen, your eagerness is laudable, if unnecessary. That Howard fellow couldn't have hoped to escape his fate, not facing Kadir's expertise. Sylvie's accent is all over the place. I'm working on it.
I know, it's all over the place, but it's all still in the French region.
She's just from, like, all of France.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, which part of France are you from? All of it.
From Nice to Paris.
However, I have made note of this show of loyalty on both your and your patrons' accounts.
Oh, that little thing popped up like a Telltale game. It's like, Prince Bernard will remember this.
I would like to thank Miss Langley for bringing this anarch thug to my and Kadir's attention. I assume all have found the verdict satisfactory? It's a rhetorical question, and everybody here knows it. Then, I consider tonight's meeting concluded. Good night to all of you. She steps out of the room, and you see that many of the guests move to do the same. Sophie seems to be conversing with somebody, a serious-looking man in a trench coat, about what transpired. Is he trying to sell her a watch? You probably have the time to strike up a conversation of your own, too. Kadira al-Asmai is still here, for one, but clearly getting ready to leave. Larson is still moping around, and the other man you noticed before Kadir brought the Anarch in is still chatting with the remaining attendants. I'm not talking to that creepy guy. I'm going to talk to Kadir. We have history. The sheriff's mood seems to have improved, so you decide you won't get a better shot at saying your piece. He is just sheathing his sword as you approach him. Okay, his sword was one of those curved moon swords. How do you sheath that? Do you have to, like, kind of, like, wiggle it into the...
No, it's like you just slide in like shink, like that.
Huh.
Like a scimitar.
He notices you just before his face turns from a melancholic frown back to his regular predatory smirk. You seem to have caught him in a moment of reflection.
What is it, Gwen?
I wanted to thank you for bringing me here in one piece, for giving me a chance.
Oh, what a way to bury the hatchet. Look at you.
An emotion creeps onto Kadir's face. He felt a feel. That you haven't seen the sheriff exhibit yet. Is that gratitude? It's fleeting, only there for a moment, gone in the blink of an eye.
It was trying on my nerves, and you are still far and away from proving that that was the right thing to do, but don't think that a few kind words will let you off the hook.
Because his sword is shaped like a hook.
No.
But it is.
No.
Yes, it is.
Damascus? Still, I have to admit, I was surprised as the prince when you jumped at the opportunity to stop that Anarch from escaping. I was sure Valerie would have beaten you to it.
Ooh, who is Valerie?
Valerie. If there's nothing else, I'll be taking my leave.
He wasn't being mean. I want to ask him if he's okay. That was an option earlier. They're not giving me it again. I should have asked it the first time.
He's fine.
Should I ask about Sophie?
I was saying, getting some inside dirt on Sophie.
Yeah, let's find out about Sophie. I was wondering if you could tell me something about Sophie. She talks a lot about the Camarilla and other things, but I barely know anything about her.
Oh, I can tell you something about Sophie. Some things you wouldn't want to hear. Like the fact that she's manipulative and vindictive, but then again, which of us kindred aren't?
Slytherins, a lot of us.
Yep. You want to know more about Sophie's past? Ask her. She's unlikely to tell you the truth, though. I'm quite sure she never told me, despite our previous history.
Are you exes? Are you sexy exes?
That's what we do, fledgling. We exist for centuries, and we lie. To our families, to our friends, to our lovers, to our kindred and sires, and childer to ourselves.
Childer. Which is more childer?
Child, noun.
So childer is the plural of child.
Yes. Childs.
A vampire created through the embrace. The child is the progeny of their sire. The term is often used derogatorily, indicating inexperience. Plural, childer.
Childer.
Childer. He picks up the sword and turns toward the stairs.
Shing. Good night. And watch yourself. You've messed up my batting average, so I'll be sure to keep a close eye on you.
Oh, that's right. He's a baseball fan. He's a Mets fan.
Oh, God. No wonder he's dead.
With that final threat, he leaves the gallery. It's right about when Sophie also ends her conversation and walks over to you. Interesting evening, wasn't it? Come. Gregory's waiting downstairs.
So sassy.
She seems preoccupied with something and not in a talkative mood. It's an awkward ride back to the city. Were we out of the city?
Small nitpick I noticed. I noticed that the speedometer on the car is reading absolute 0.
Maybe we're stuck in traffic.
But they're obviously moving.
This time you arrive at another building, just 2 streets across from your apartment. She brings you upstairs through a very nice lobby and a luxurious-looking hall into her domain.
Oh,
is
we're going to
domain
her
what we
place.
call houses? Should we call our house domain from now
Yeah.
on? Yeah. Welcome to our domain. Would you like some cheese? Or whatever we're serving our guests that night.
Blood cheese.
Please, have a seat. I shall be right with you.
She's got a chandelier.
Oh, and naked ladies on the wall. Heck yeah. You take in your surroundings. The apartment is like a gallery. An old school smoking room that you've seen in some period piece once, and a nouveau riche's living room meticulously combined together.
It reminds me of 33 and a half Baker Street. It's got that kind of Sherlock vibe to it from, doesn't it?
33 and a third.
Is that what it is?
No.
Or am I thinking about records? I am thinking about records. Sorry, it's the music in me. What's the name of what's the name of Sherlock's apartment?
222B or something like that.
222B. Why did I say 33 and a third? Sorry, music nerd.
Apologies. Old habits die hard. Clearly, some stick with you even after your death. Is she talking about the smoking?
He's talking about the smoking.
Yeah. She drags on her cigarette and breathes out. Breathes? How is she doing that? Can you do that? Look, if we're talking, we're breathing. You can't talk without air.
That's how you get the vocal cords to vibrate.
Yeah. Oh, yes. You might not know. It takes some practice, but you can keep smoking if you'd like. Other things, too. Experiment. You might surprise yourself. She's talking about sex, isn't she?
I imagine so.
Yeah. But I did not bring you here to show off. This is where I rest these nights. That door in the back, the bedroom, similar to yours. I have servants and bodyguards in addition, of course. I brought you here because I need you to trust me. When I told you before that I needed your best behavior to uphold my good standing with the court, I meant it. But that's not the whole story.
What, Sophie holding information? No way.
I have your interests in mind, too. That's why I've given you your own haven. Why, I'm trying to teach you how to navigate this new reality. But you need to trust me, or else this won't work. You can come here whenever you feel like asking me something. When you're in trouble, too, though I hope that won't happen often. I would ask you to come here when you wake up tomorrow. I'll have something to discuss with you. Oh, I thought she was bringing me here to, hit on me and invite me to spend the night. Or day. Why not talk right now, since we're here together? I still need to follow up on a few things before we speak. Patience, fledgling. That's silence again. There's definitely something on Sophie's mind tonight, but she doesn't seem eager to share it with you just yet. I'm leaving for another visit. Come downstairs with me. We'll give you a lift. Oh, the 2 blocks. I could walk those 2 blocks in Times Square faster than you giving me a lift, lady. A quick trip. A promise that you show up tomorrow and some polite goodbyes later, you open the door to your haven and gather your thoughts. It's exciting, in a way, being dragged deeper and deeper into this secret society and its rules. Whatever Sophie has planned for you, it's bound to teach you more about this thing you have become. You sink into your vampiric sleep with just a sliver of hope. It's a welcome change. Rest. Oh, my vein map. I love the vein map.
I know, but this map gives us like the illusion of like, oh, good, click on this map and you can go anywhere.
I'm going to Staten Island.
No, don't do that. We're already in hell.
Manhattan is the penis of the boroughs.
Why? Yep.
Once more, darkness falls upon the city. You wake up, same as you have these past few nights, in a windowless room. As you pry open the reinforced steel door, you look out the window to see, invariably, a sky bereft of sunlight. And then it hits you. The Hunger. I've seen that movie. It's a good movie.
Is it?
You don't remember it?
Is that the Stephen King novel book?
No, it's the David Bowie movie.
Oh, okay. I just remember that there was a movie called The Hunger, I think, based on the Stephen King novel. It's like one of the very first movies I went to go see in a movie theater by myself, and it was really bad. Story over. Damascus.
For a moment, you let yourself wonder if there will ever come a night when it's just not there. Given what you've learned thus far, you probably have as much chance of kick-starting your heart with jumper cables. You lock the apartment behind you and head over to Sophie's apartment. You did promise to call on her, might as well not keep the lady waiting, and hey, what else are you gonna do? Get in touch with your boss? He's probably looking for you, if only to scold you for the unattended files piling up on your desk. But what's he gonna do? Call the cops? Ugh, not worth the hassle. You're almost hoping the few coworkers that seem to give a shit about you were faking it. It would make things easier. A fresh start from the ground up. Just like old times. Ooh, when have I had a fresh start before? Have I, reinvented myself before? These thoughts put you in a weird mood. It's a strange sensation to walk the crowded streets, same as you have so many times before, but feeling so disconnected. All these people, you're not one of them. Not anymore. You're a vampire. Kindred. And you need to carve your own path in this strange new existence one way or another. Appropriately enough, you arrive at Sophie's building just as that thought crosses your mind. A quick word with the security guard, and you're let into the elevator. Apparently, Mrs. Langley is expecting you. Oh, she's a Mrs. now. Of course she is. You knock and wait patiently as the footsteps on the other side grow closer. Finally, the door opens and Gregory, Sophie's driver, invites you in. Oh, is Gregory also her butler? Or possibly lover? You find the lady herself standing by the window, silhouetted against the city's midnight glow. Oh, is it midnight already? I thought it was just after sunset. She stares out, motionless, like a marble statue. Oh, that's very Anne Rice. Oh, look how pretty she is. Look at her. She's gorgeous.
I'm sorry, I'm still trying to find some information about that Hunger movie, but I can't find anything about it.
It probably wasn't called The Hunger. It's probably called, The Feed or something.
No, it was about a guy who was starving to death for some reason.
Are you sure it wasn't called Thinner?
I think you're right. Wait.
Thinner, he got a curse put on him that made him just starve to death to make him thinner.
That was it. No,
that
it
wasn't a bad movie.
It was a terrible movie.
As a child, I remember thinking it was scary and cool.
As a child, yes. 15% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, Thinner's a bad movie? Yes. I didn't know anything as a child.
I don't know any of these actors either. Except for
I just
Joe
remember
Montana.
the lady who puts a curse on him goes, Thinner. Right in the middle of his chest.
I don't remember anything about it besides hating it. Oh, Stephen King.
No, but she puts 3 curses. One is Thinner. One, she turns into a reptile person. And then...
I remember so little about this movie, apparently.
Yeah, and his skin starts flaking off like he gets super eczema. And then I forget what the other curse was. Okay. Sophie is having emo thoughts as evidenced by her dots. Is everything all right? She doesn't react immediately, but seems to snap out of some meditative state and looks at you with strangely bleary eyes. Yes, it is. How kind of you to ask.
How kind of you to let me come.
Tell me, when you look out at this city, when you see the lights, hear the hum, smell the rain on the pavement, what do you think about?
Oh, gosh, that makes me homesick.
I'm like, garbage?
Yes, exactly. It does smell like hot garbage. The city that makes its own gravy. I still remember several times we would walk in the rain and duck into a place to get out of it, and our umbrellas would turn inside out on a really crappy, rainy, stormy night.
The wind just like gusts down those streets in New York, and it just turns your umbrellas.
I know, but fortunately the umbrellas are like $1 a piece, so no big loss.
You gaze out. The lights and rain, the restless honking below, music blasting from a nearby window, echoing off the buildings. Someone should record an hour of this and throw it up on YouTube as an ambient piece.
I could sleep to that. It was like trying to fall asleep in your Washington Heights apartment where it was nothing but thumping bass and dirt bikes all night.
Other than that, though, it's business as usual. The sights, the sounds, the smells. You know them all too well. Sophie watches you. You can tell she's disappointed somehow, but she covers it up with a courteous smile. Ooh, I don't have her, like, appreciation of the artistic merits of the city. It's because I'm not a Toreador this time.
Oh, right. You're Gwen True the Ventru.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a Toreador.
She's a Toreador.
Okay, yeah. That's right. I forgot she's not actually your sire.
Well, not everyone can appreciate the intricacies that the world offers. In fact, among kindred, my clan is somewhat notorious for finding innate meaning even in the mundane. See, it's a Toreador thing.
Yeah.
Clan.
Noun.
A bloodline of vampires who share common characteristics passed on through the blood from sire to child. There are 13 known clans, all of which were reputedly founded by members of the third generation.
See, the only clans I know that are the ones that were in the Bloodlines game. So I only know, like 6 or 7 of them.
7. Well, those are the Camarilla clans. The rest are not Camarilla.
Oh, I thought the Anarchs were just lumped together.
No, the Anarchs are in Camarilla clans. There's the Sabbat clans.
Wait. No, Anarchs aren't Camarilla, aren't they?
No, but they're from the same clans. So you can be like a Bruja Anarch, a Toreador Anarch.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
I see that. But
You can also be like the Bizarro Universe version. That's called an anti-brow. So if you're like the Toreador anti-brow,
I don't understand what anti-brow means.
it's like the Bizarro Universe version of the whatever you were.
Is White Wolf out of their minds?
They're very complex.
Oh, God.
You see, the blood that flows within me is that of Clan Toreador. There are 13 such bloodlines among us kindred, though that number has been contested in the past, and these nights it seems that nothing is certain anymore.
Clan Toreador. Noun.
Many Toreador emerge from the ranks of accomplished artists, both new and faded, but not all artists need to wield a brush. To the Toreador, art encompasses all forms of entertainment and stimulation. The Clan of the Rose courts the greatest actors, singers, writers, dancers, and even sex workers if the degenerates believe such mortals will offer something new to their clan. Wait, it's calling Toreadors degenerates? Excuse you. Despite the custom of embracing only the best, the Toreador fixation on beauty and innocence has caused many a diva to make a fledgling in haste. Many a moonlit night, new clan members have emerged as shallow hedonists, one-hit wonders, or just a stunning body with nothing else to offer. Nickname: divas, harlots, sensates, perverts, hedonists, degenerates.
All right, so I'm getting the clues here that Clan Toreador is not really looked highly upon.
It's because they're artsy and it's not business.
You just don't understand us.
Yeah, it's like, what? You went to art college? You spent $200,000 on a degree in art.
Hey, my liberal arts degree is going to get me far. Bloodline. Noun.
A vampire's heritage. See also, clan.
We can't.
Yeah,
Or can we?
It's not clickable.
Maybe clan we already read about.
I think so. The The clans have gone by many epithets over the years, but the names used these nights have their roots in medieval times. The original Inquisition, if you can believe it. They use these to categorize us, describe our inherent differences. In time, we adopted them ourselves. Also, wait, the humans invented these terms for vampires, and we adopted them? We, reclaimed the slurs?
Yeah, that's how I was thinking. It's like, no, we just made it that term our own.
Each clan has a uniqueness about it, inescapable, originating from an ancient progenitor carried from sire to child. For the Toreador, the gift lies in sensitivity of sorts. We are uniquely attuned to beauty and ugliness both. We can see either where most cannot, a blessing on most nights.
Or a curse.
The sheriff is of my clan as well, although you'd be hard-pressed to see him as such. Poor Kadir. It breaks my heart to see him in this state. Still, there is beauty to it as well. Nothing like a good fall from grace. Try as she might to act playful, you can tell she genuinely cares. Also, she's emo about Kadir. She lets her gaze wander for a brief moment, but is quick to regain her composure. Then there are the Ventru, known for their pride and proclivity to rule over others. The prince represents that clan, and is quite common in our society around the globe. Hey, I'm a Ventru lady. Clan Ventru. While many other clans claim positions of influence in mortal politics and business, no one can rival the Ventru in the game of pure power and wealth. Ooh, am I going to be rich?
Yay!
Whoa! They have long been the leaders of the Camarilla, holding more positions of power than any other clan, and they are loath to give that up. The Ventru believe in the strength of tradition and lineage. The embrace is one of their most important rituals, and the choice of child affects the way other members of the clan treat the sire. The Ventru therefore aim to embrace overachievers, politically or financially powerful kind, or those with a talent that sets them apart from the masses. They maintain that they are destined to rule all kindred, no matter the sacrifices involved. Their detractors call them little lords, borgias, and tyrants. Those who respect Ventru for keeping the Camarilla together use terms like blue bloods, patricians, or warlords. I like that. I'm a blue blood. Thank you. Where the blue bloods think themselves rulers, the Bruja like to see themselves as preeminent revolutionaries. They call for universal rebellion while being slaves to their own temper. Bruja.
Noun.
While the above is sometimes true, the clan adheres to no single ideology, and their desire for distant reaches as deep as the fraudster ripping off his own company, the lawyer representing the poor pro bono, the neo-Nazi claiming to be alt-right, and the basement dweller downloading thousands of movies illegally for redistribution on streaming sites. Fledglings embrace to fight and protest are commonly referred to as rebels, punks, or rabble.
Wow, this game really did come out within the last 4 years, didn't it?
Yep. The neo-Nazis are all Bruja? Great. You think they'd be anarchs?
The neo-Nazis try to call themselves alt-right, but we know.
I mean, I guess there are a lot of Bruja anarchs. They're more likely to go anarch than anyone else.
I hate to think that the alt-right is the new counterculture, you know?
God. No. Counterculture is about, protecting people and being, good people. Like punks, you know? Punks are social
maybe the new
justice warriors.
counterculture is just being sane.
It's true. We don't discuss the rabble much anymore, not after they largely broken off with Camarilla. To think they were philosophers once, long ago. I hope to tell you more about some of the other bloodlines tonight. Oh, we've learned 3 of the 13 so far. Great. Oh, do I not know my clan yet? I guess I don't know. Okay, I'll ask. Do you know what my clan is? No. I can only guess it based on certain aspects of your behavior and tastes. You will need to come to your own conclusions and seek validation from your clanmates, if you require such a thing. Oh, I didn't realize I didn't know my own clan.
But we know. She's a
Well, yeah, we know. Because we're metagaming.
And her name is Gwen True. Clue it in, Soph. This music reminds me of the Seventh Guest for some reason.
As you will no doubt learn, some kindred fit these stereotypes more than others. It's like your horoscope. Sometimes it matches you and sometimes it don't, because it's not real.
It's almost like it's a fantasy game.
The blood is hard to deny, though there are certainly those who try. But that is perhaps a subject for another time. I invited you here for a reason. There is
thank you,
something
Sophie.
I wanted to speak to
It's been
you
20 minutes.
about.
Get to the point.
It is customary in our society, especially among younger kindred, to organize into coteries. Sometimes these are called by the prince themselves or mandated by a fledgling's sire.
Yeah, about that.
Am I in your coterie? Like, isn't that why we're here?
Well, our sire is mysterious and gone, so.
No, I mean, isn't she like my surrogate sire?
Surrogate, yes.
No, she's
adopted
my
sire.
adopted sire, yeah. In our case, you may treat it as more of a strong recommendation. I want you to seek out companions, not only because you need to learn more about our society, but also because it is useful. True friendships are rare among kindred, but having allies, even temporary ones, is something of a necessity these nights. We might be selfish creatures, but we are drawn to each other nonetheless. So, tell me, are you part of a coterie? Any close allies? And why can't I be in yours? I thought you were my new mom. I do have those that I trust enough to work with, yes. Not a coterie, exactly. Though I have joined several of those over the years. Not in over a century, though. Ooh, how old are you, Sophie? I am intrigued.
Is that your attempt to speak French with her to impress her?
I don't think she's French. I mean, she might be. Her name's Sophie. Anyone who's over a century old named Sophie is probably French.
No.
You, however, would do well to meet some of the city's younger kindred and see if you can find a connection. It's an essential experience for one so young. She puts on a mysterious smile. I spent some of my precious time last night asking around, pondering potential kindred for you to meet. Came up with a short list of contacts. I hope you'll appreciate the gesture. Forging a partnership with them might offer perspectives and viewpoints that I cannot provide. Lenses through which to view our kind. They are all members of the Camarilla, of course. More or less. Like, these responses are so mean. Like, if I'm in business, if I'm a Ventrue, I know how to play the game. I'm gonna, like, manipulate my way to the top, so I'm not gonna be a bitch.
But you're a brand new venture. You don't know. You don't even know your nature.
But I was chosen for a reason. I am naturally... This is my house.
You were kind of, like, vampire raped?
Yes,
in a way?
but I was also a corporate shark before this started. I know how to corporate speak.
Okay. As a true venture.
All right, then. Let's hear it. Who's on the list? Not that I'm actually interested. I'm playing the game. I'm pretending to be interested. This is how you do it. Eager to learn about them, I see. Good. I'm glad. So, let's start with the Tremere. They are a powerful clan, disliked by many, but feared and respected by many more. They have been an important pillar of the Camarilla since the very beginning. They are blood sorcerers.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. That kind of puts it all into context. Clan Tremere, noun.
Woke.
Whoop. Oh my. Hey.
This is really long.
Summarize.
They're mage vampires.
Blood mages. Yeah,
they're the
done.
wizards of Vampire the Masquerade. I'm gonna scroll through this slowly so you can like pause the video and actually read it if you want to.
Occult. Blah, blah, blah. Magic rituals spelled with a K, so you know it's edgelordy.
If you were playing D&D and you were playing a wizard and then you went to go play Vampire the Masquerade...
No, these are the warlocks. It says it right down below. Warlocks, hermetics, or transgressors.
Okay,
Ooh.
the magic users.
Yes.
The magic users.
Okay, there. Done.
Yep.
It was a sled. I saved you 3 boring hours.
Blood sorcerers? You flash back to one of those nights when your ex would stay up late playing video games. Not a pleasant connotation. Wow, why was I dating that loser?
Hey, I'm one of those losers.
Hey, you're not married to a Ventru.
That is true. Well, you're a Toreador. So
I am
you're
such
cool.
a Toreador.
What would I be? Would I be a Gangrel? Or like a, what am I? What would I be?
I don't know. I don't think you're animalistic enough to be a gangrel.
Gosh, I never really thought about that before. I'd have to put some thought into that. Leave some comments in the box below.
Yeah, what's Paul's
What am
vampire
I?
house? Sophie snickers. Oh, child, don't be caught with that look on your face when you meet a warlock in person. They really are adept at using vitae, their own as well as others, to unique and potent effects.
Vitae, noun.
Archaic term for the blood of a vampire. Since they are quite rigid in their hierarchy, the kindred I had in mind for you might need some persuading. His name is Agathon.
I want to say there's a character in the new Mortal Kombat series that's also like a blood mage, very literally, like can turn blood into like knives and stuff.
From what I hear, he is quite the scholar, very ambitious. The child of a noted Tremere here in New York, Aisling Sternbridge, spent enough time with Agathon, and I'm sure you'll run into her sooner or later. So, by getting to know this Agathon, I can get closer to someone higher up the ladder? Yes, though not immediately, I would imagine.
There you go. Scarlet, that's her. She's the blood mage.
Scarlet with a K, wow.
Yeah. Practicing her blood magic, also with a K.
Aisling finds herself in a somewhat precarious position, both in the city and in her clan. Every move she makes is heavily scrutinized, thus she has learned to tread lightly.
It feels like every other word that you say is like should have quotation marks around them.
That's how Sophie talks in my head.
Broadway, and contact the young Tremere. I love you.
Anyway, if you wish to contact the young Tremere, I hear you can usually find him in a new age bookstore out on Broadway. The Tremere
Quote, quote.
have one of their workshops there.
Workshops.
Gregory will give you the details.
Sorry. This is really funny. Okay, go ahead. Please continue.
Why is my alcohol all gone?
Yeah. I was like, my gin's almost gone. We're completely off the rails and out of booze.
We're learning about the clans and somehow laughing our asses off.
It's almost like this game's not meant to be taken seriously.
Now, this next recommendation comes with a bit of a caveat.
Didn't even say anything that time. You did that to yourself.
I'm just thinking of you like, now this next recommendation comes with a bit of a
caveat.
the giant air quotes. No, I can't hear Sophie's voice without thinking of that.
I'll just put air quotes around Sophie entirely, just so it's implied that she used quotes for every other word. Now this next recommendation comes with a bit of a caveat.
As you...
Now you gotta change your entire cadence of speaking or you'll never get through this. My apologies.
Breathe. Okay. Acting.
Acting, yes, fine design.
As you recall me saying, most bloodlines have unique features.
You didn't even mean to do it, is the funny thing.
Why do I take you places?
You don't. We're in quarantine. You literally cannot take me places. I'll be good.
I'm catching my breath.
Alright.
That might not be obvious at first glance. Well, there is one clan whose members wear their curse on their sleeve. Stop.
There were 16 words in that 32-word sentence that had quotes on them.
The Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. Noun.
The clan of the hidden are known under many names. Hives, lepers, sewer rats, carnies, scabs, orlocks, but many of them sound pleasant.
Jeez.
Oh, but a few of them sound pleasant. I don't know why I said many.
I do.
Anyway. Nosferatu are the ugly ones. Pain, deformities.
Oh my gosh.
It sounds pretty miserable. Beasts, whatever, heavy makeup, prosthetics.
This really gives me a lot more sympathy towards the Nosferatu.
I know their lives are torture.
I mean, I thought it was like bad enough. It's like this, they turn into a Nosferatu. It's like, oh god, you're ugly now. But apparently, transforming to that is really painful.
Poor.
Wait. Call upon the blood to wear the borrowed faces of their victims, or just prosthetics and heavy makeup.
Well, they can disappear from sight. I know that's one of their...
that, but like wearing...
I think it's like an illusion they can do.
I guess. Okay, it just kind of... It's got a very Silence of the Lambs feel to it.
Yeah, let's cut off your face. It's like the 1989 Phantom of the Opera movie.
See, I went Silence of the Lambs, and you found somehow a Phantom of the Opera reference.
You know,
the Robert Englund one.
Yeah.
Yay! I remembered
instead
something.
of wearing a mask, he cuts off his victims' faces and sticks them on his face. It's like Arya from Game of Thrones.
Wow, that's a lot of references for one topic. I'm impressed.
The way she said it, you're pretty sure it should mean something to you other than sounding foreign. It doesn't ring any bells. Why should it mean something to me? Like, she thinks I'm... Yeah, it's like, is she implying she thinks I'm a Nosferatu? Are you calling me ugly, Sophie? Because I'm pretty, okay? This is a pretty face. No wonder they make their havens in the sewers, abandoned buildings, and such. Their appearance is hideous and obviously unnatural. Oh, she's a Toreador snob.
She's looking down
she's
that
Toreadoring
nose.
it up all the way. Had they walked in the streets like other kindred, the kind would have learned of our existence long ago. Did she just shudder? It's hard to tell with her usual complexion, but you could swear her skin suddenly took an even more sickly color.
But just because she doesn't like Nosferatu, or
Yeah,
just
she's
like
a
thinking
Toreador
about
snob.
what it
She's
would be
like,
like?
Ooh, ugliness, how awful. Even though she just said that Toreadors appreciate the beauty and ugliness.
No, I think it was more like imagine if the kind did know about our presence and that happened.
No. She's ragging on the Nos.
The Nos.
The one I have in mind isn't as big an eyesore as the worst of them, but he is no Adonis either. Still, he has some talents and connections that you might find useful. Did you see all the air quotes?
No, I'm purposely ignoring them in order to keep you on track.
His name is D'Angelo,
and this one literally has quotes. You're just
and he
baiting
has
me.
an office, for lack of a better term, in the otherwise abandoned grain terminal in Red Hook. Ooh, Red Hook! They have pie in Red Hook. Remember the pie?
No, which pie?
It's by the IKEA. You follow the sign that says pie this way. Pie.
No,
until you get to the land of pie. No, it's the best key lime pie you will ever have.
That was the adventure you took without me, but you love it. I love that story though.
Yeah. Right next to one of those Swedish stores. Oh, the IKEA! She's talking about the IKEA.
These New Yorkers must have made this one. Though I think all the names in
the name
credits
escapes me. The one with the awful furniture. Yes, a Toreador would not appreciate IKEA furniture. That is for damn sure.
Well, I love IKEA, so you can rule Toreador out of it.
Yeah, I can. I ruled Toreador out for you a long time ago.
But I adore IKEA. I love exploring. I love eating.
There we go.
Stuff.
Oh yeah, I care more about this guy than what IKEA.
That's what I would have said.
You mentioned this D'Angelo has some useful connections? I was just getting to that. D'Angelo does odd jobs for Kadir, digging up dirt, locating kindred who would prefer to remain hidden. The kind of work the Nosferatu are best at. He's on a case right now. Something to do with kind murders, I think. After your initial brush with our dear sheriff, I think it would be wise to show some goodwill towards his agenda. Assisting D'Angelo with his investigation might be just the thing. She takes a brief pause to look out the window again. Now, come the two more exotic proposals. More exotic than a Tremere and a Nosferatu? What could it possibly be? Are you as intrigued as I am?
More so.
Exotic? As if the blood mage and the vampire detective were business as usual? Not just a vampire detective, hideously ugly vampire detective. You may have heard about the Gangrel before. They are a wild clan, in touch with their beast in a way others might not dare to attempt. They mostly keep out of big cities, but there are exceptions. Clan Gangrel.
No.
Another really long one. Outcast wanderers, rogues, and hunters. They're animalistic. They can turn into animals or develop like claws and stuff. Feral outcasts, animals, strays, savages. They're the clan that can turn into wolves, just like Dracula, even though Dracula was not a gangrel. People say that Dracula was a Chimichi.
I forget what Smichis are.
They're the
Aren't
ones,
they like
they're
sort
the,
of like the Ventru lights?
No, they're the flesh crafters, the one that make the like flesh beasts.
Oh.
I don't get how Dracula is that, but apparently he is.
Alright.
Or something else entirely.
Good Drac.
But yeah, Dracula could turn into wolf and so can Gangrel.
There's no baby John.
Nominally, they haven't been part of the Camarilla for over 2 decades, but the one kindred I would like you to meet has strong, shall we say, familial ties to the sect. Her name is Tamika. Her sire, Jezebel, was instrumental during the Battle of New York back in 1999. The very same battle that cemented the city as a Camarilla domain. Sadly, her achievements have gone largely unrecognized. I like that you're recognizing them, Sophie. As much of a snob as you are, you're still like putting props out there for other clans. Good for you.
Dropping them.
Tamika and a number of her siblings still reside in the domain where they were awarded after the battle. Prospect Park. Aw, that's all they got? Jezebel herself left the city some years ago, fed up with being underappreciated. I'm curious about non-Camarilla clans. I got the impression contacting vampires who aren't in the Camarilla was frowned upon, but you're saying these Gangrel aren't a part of the sect anymore. How does that work? It's not as clear-cut. The Gangrel as a whole have sworn off the Camarilla, but individual kindred of that clan can still hold our ideals. Jezebel was one of them before she became jaded. Besides, their domain in Prospect Park has been upheld by the Prince Panod all these years, has it not? We consider them members of the sect, and they have, for the most part, kept to themselves. Perhaps it will take a young kindred such as yourself to make them realize where their loyalties lie. So you see, seeking out Tamika could prove quite educational, if nothing else. tastes. And who knows, perhaps you will find her temperament to be a welcome change of pace. A nice change of
pace.
But speaking of change of pace, I have one last suggestion for you, though it's one I don't make lightly. The kindred who calls herself Hope. She's a Malkavian. They are a uniquely cursed clan. For centuries, we considered them mad, insane, unhinged, but those of us who spend enough time with them come to understand the truth. It is no sickness, but a unique perception of the world that has them appear to us as unstable. And that perception can prove to be very valuable. Having a Malkavian as your companion might be taxing on the nerves and a true test of patience at times, but their insight and intuition are unrivaled among kindred. As for Hope specifically, she is said to be a recluse, but I have it on good authority that she can currently be found in an internet cafe, I believe it's called, in Lower Manhattan. Gregory has the address. Truth be told, she doesn't sound like my type. Like I said, if it wasn't for the fact that I'd like you to get to know members of different clans and hear their perspectives, Hope wouldn't be on my list necessarily. But if what I heard about her is true, you should at least seek her out and give her a chance. You might be pleasantly surprised. Well, I believe that's all of them. I still have a few social calls to make tonight, so I'll leave you to it. Use tonight and tomorrow night to arrange some cordial visits of your own. I will send Gregory for you as soon as I have further need of your services. Oh, that reminds me, you will need a car. Join us downstairs, won't you?
In New York? Do we?
I'm assuming with the driver.
Oh, okay.
She smiles once more and turns to her driver. He helps her put on her coat, and the three of you leave Sophie's apartment. Sophie points to one of the cars near the building as Gregory hands you the keys. Oh, I get to drive?
But
in Manhattan? Well, I guess it's
miserable.
Manhattan in the middle of the night is not that bad.
In the middle of the night's fine.
Yeah. It's a rather inconspicuous compact car. Ooh, easy for parking on street-level parking. A decent-looking, if not luxurious ride. Stay safe, Gwen. This is your first night alone. Don't let it be your last. As they drive away, you find yourself with more freedom than you've had for the past few nights. A blessing? Or a burden? Time will tell.
Dun, dun, dun. Stay tuned.
With a list of addresses in hand, you consider your next move. All right, we will consider our next move.
Wait,
we have
who are
options.
These people?
Okay, we got the Nosferatu, the Tremere, the Gangrel, and the Malkavian, right?
Mouse over them. Let's see if they have info. Nope. I have no idea.
Well, she told us where they were. One was in Brooklyn. One was in Staten
None of these look like
Island.
Nosferatu, unless they're like, I guess,
No, one,
disguised.
these two in Brooklyn. This one's in Lower Manhattan. She told us where they were. This one's in Upper Manhattan.
I was in the Heights, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know the Kamika. This has to be Kamika because she's the only black person here, and this has to be the Lower Manhattan internet cafe person.
Oh.
The Malkavian. This guy's kind of funny looking, so assuming he's the Nosferatu, and this must be the Tremere, the wizard up here. Kamika was a Gangrel.
Oh, okay.
And this guy's the wizard. All right. So next time, I have been told that we shouldn't try to do it all. We should really just pick two and go with two, and that's the way to play the game. So I am currently personally leaning towards the Nosferatu and Kamika. just because, variety's sake. Though Tremere also has its benefits. I'm not leaning towards a Malkavian, but maybe you'll convince me otherwise. This is an interactive experience. Do you have thoughts? Do you have
Which ones
opinions?
are the batshit insane ones?
The Malkavians.
That was the Malkavians.
That's
okay.
this one here.
Got it.
So, what would you do if you were playing Paul?
I would definitely go for Kamika, because that one sounds the most interesting.
Because you like Gangrels.
Yes, I'm biased. And then...
Tremere's blood mages, they're also...
Yeah, but I mean, look at the guy. It's like, I just like looking at him, it looks like someone I don't want to talk to.
I think he's sexy.
But I figure we also have Kamika representing Brooklyn, so it'd be kind of good to have someone representing the island.
But I like the Nosferatu. He sounded like really cool. Like,
yeah,
of all the people she
like,
described, he sounded like the most like cool one.
I don't like Malkavian, so I think the Nosferatu, the two Brooklynites win by default. So I agree with your choices.
You do?
Yes.
Oh, we are of an accord. Unless you all convince me otherwise, that's my plan for next time. But maybe you will convince me otherwise.
I keep telling you make these awesome polls in the upper right-hand corner, but you never
No,
do.
YouTube has done away with polls.
Really?
Yeah, polls are gone.
Wow, those were actually like super fun.
I
That was the
know,
only thing I
right?
liked about that new note system, and they got rid of annotations.
Yeah, it's been a while since you've YouTubed, hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah, it
Shows
really
what
has. All right. Do we have any news or information or updates for our followers?
Nope, it's a quarantine. There's absolutely zero going on. at the
Yeah, I
moment.
had so many exciting things coming up last time we played this game that I was giving you all the updates for. I'm like, and then this is coming, and then I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing... And so it's like, I've done all those things. You should go watch them.
Yeah.
They're on my channel. Nobody is watching my videos anymore. I have 45,000 YouTube subscribers.
Yes.
My videos get 4,000 hits. That's less than 10%. The algorithm hates me. Nobody is watching my videos. They subscribe to me, so I assume they like what I'm doing. It's not like I'm just putting out videos they don't like otherwise.
So what you're saying is it's up to y'all being the YouTube audience, to share, like, and subscribe, etc.,
Yes,
etc.
if you comment on videos, it helps the algorithm. If
Actually,
you
they're
like
probably
the
already
video, it
subscribed,
helps
so I don't
the
wanna be
algorithm.
all-
If you subscribe, if you click the bell, blah blah blah, all that. If you want to help me out because times are dire, join my Patreon, because that's the thing to do.
And you get early access to videos, blah, blah, blah.
Go to my channel and look at my most recent videos. I bet I've done a lot of videos that you're like, I didn't even realize she put out that video because the algorithm didn't tell me. They're all there. People keep telling me every month, oh, welcome back. You've been gone so long. And I'm like, I put out 3 to 4 videos every month. It's almost a video a week.
One of my favorite things when I was YouTubing, it's like,
Why
hey,
do
you
you
should
think
do
I've
an
been
episode on X. And it's like, let me link you to the episode that I did do on X. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm your biggest fan. We should do a video on this. It's like, I did, like,
People
3
are
months
like,
ago.
I've missed you, Maven. I'm like, I've been right here putting out videos. I put out a video almost literally every week and nobody watches them.
But we like making them. That's all that counts.
Oh, yeah. And Patreon supports them, which is how we can do it. Because if Patreon didn't support them, we couldn't. We literally could not afford to be sitting here right now.
Nope.
Nope. I'd be out working a day job in like a donut factory or something.
Like a sucker.
Yeah. But with delicious donuts.
You're never working a donut shop.
I might.
What are you telling these people?
I could. Delicious donuts.
You go back to the coffee industry.
Anyway, thank you for joining us. Give us your thoughts on who we should court for our coterie. Am I allowed to go to all 4 of them and then make my choice, or do I really just have to pick 2 and just stick to 2?
I think concentrating on 2 is wise.
Yeah, but should I view them all? I don't know. When people said stick to 2, I don't know if that meant I shouldn't even look at the other 2 or
It seems like this game is designed for multiple playthroughs, so I think concentrating on 2 would be good, and then maybe on subsequent playthroughs.
So right now we're leaning to Brooklyn, of all places, surprisingly. Red Hook, where the pie is, and the IKEA. Yes. These are important things. Anyway, thank you for joining us.
Wait, I thought the IKEA
What?
I was thinking of was in Jersey.
No, this is the IKEA in Red Hook.
I don't think I've ever been to that IKEA.
That's why you never got the pie.
Dang it.
Okay, you go to IKEA. You're leaving the IKEA parking lot, and there's a sign. It says pie, and there's an arrow.
Now, this was 8 years ago.
No, it's still there.
Oh my god. Okay.
This is like an institution. There's an arrow. So you turn, you follow the arrow. You're driving. You see another sign that says pie, another arrow. You follow. And it's like that Gary Larson comic that says dog food. And it's like the dog leading the dog into the dryer or something. Yeah. So anyway, and you get to this, it keeps leading you this pie arrow. And you get to this place on the pier, like on the water. And it kind of looks like an abandoned warehouse. And there's like these long string of buildings.
You want to go in, you want to talk to this guy named Vinny, and you give him the password. The password is pie.
There's a door. And by the door, it just says pie and an arrow. And you're just like, I'm going to go in there and get murdered, aren't I? I'm going to get murdered. But you go in, and it's the most freaking delicious key lime pie you ever bought in your life. It's expensive. It's like $40 a pie. No, it's expensive. But it's worth it, and it's cash only, and you better have cash from your IKEA trip, and you go there and you get that pie. You buy the frozen pies so you can take them home and keep them. You buy the mini pies so you can eat them on the ride back, and you have the most delicious key lime pie you have ever had in your life. And it's only key lime. That's all they have.
They should write that on the sign, quite honestly. Pie. Otherwise, people are going to be kind of led down the primrose
path. You go to the pie
Yay.
place in Red Hook. That's what you do.
Okay, I'm done talking about pie now.
I'm never done talking about pie. Anyway, vampires. Yes, blood, veins.
Blood pie. Good night, folks.
Good night.